This is such bullshit. I've never been so pissed in my whole life. And this murder Charlie Kirk right here in Utah. I'm so freaking pissed right now. This is bullshit. I just saw blood squirting out of his neck. I love that guy. He would have been our next president. I am so pissed right now. Why do they always come with fucking violence? Gosh damn it. Use your freaking words as they're talking to you people. Who shot Charlie Kirk? I'm driving out of Provo right now. I'm so pissed. Damn it.
You're still sitting like that. Oh.
What?
Who?
What is that out? Wait, what happened? Charlie Kirk. Wait a minute, is this true?
Harvey and Charles,
what?
I found.
No. What happened?
There he is, right there.
Wait a minute, what happened? Is that him speaking?
And he just got shot.
Charlie Kirk?
Watch this. I mean, does this look like he gets shot?
Wait.
Yes, it does.
Okay, come on, let's...
Did Charlie Kirk get shot?
Start writing the story.
Mark's writing.
Hey, Jamie, one paragraph up.
Wait, is it...
Where is this?
We're not putting this up.
We are trying
Where
to
was
find
it?
this
Utah.
confirmed.
Call the university right now. Can you call the police
And Orem
department?
police.
Find out what police. Karumi, and all you guys,
Orem
find out
police.
what police department handles this area.
He almost has security right there sitting next to Utah. What? I watched
Was this in Utah? Okay.
Yeah.
Who's writing?
Jamie,
It
who's
looks like
writing?
upper body,
Mark's
like,
writing.
it's definitely upper body.
This is clear incitement. Less than 1 hour after conservative commentator Charlie Kirk was tragically pronounced dead, MAGA Fox News host Jesse Waters goes live on air and declares war.
They are at war with us. Whether we want to accept it or not, they are at war with us. And what are we going to do about it? How much political violence are we going to tolerate? And that's the question we're just going to have to ask ourselves. Now, Charlie would want us to put as much pressure on these people as possible.
Wait. I just want to pause it. The chyron at the bottom says, Charlie Kirk assassin still on the loose. At this very moment, we do not know who did this. We don't know their ideology. You could make assumptions in your head, but in what reality is it okay to go on air in front of millions of Americans and use rhetoric about they're at war with us? It is very clear incitement. I have not seen a single politician on the Democratic side say this is okay. Everybody has unequivocally condemned it, and everybody should, so we can tone down the rhetoric, because again, when somebody who disagrees with you is murdered like this, that could lead to somebody who agrees with you getting murdered like this. It is a catalyst for violence that then becomes a chain reaction.
Yo, that's crazy. See, that's why you don't share your opinions in a giant crowd like that. That's why you shut your fucking mouth. That's why you just don't speak. That's why you don't speak unless you're right. That's why right is right and wrong is wrong. And that's funny. But I didn't like what he said, and I didn't like his opinions, and I don't really give a shit that he's dead. Okay, that was funny. Ha ha ha, very funny. Alright, Charlie Kirk this, Charlie Kirk that.
Charlie Kirk is dead, and he spent his last moments on this earth advocating against gun control. It's ironic because adequate gun control would have been the only thing that could have saved Charlie Kirk, as he was shot fatally in the neck today at a campus debate event in Utah at Utah Valley University. No security could have saved Charlie Kirk. No bulletproof vest could have as well. Only reasonable gun control by our previous and current administrations could have prevented this tragedy. And now, unfortunately, Charlie has become part of the statistic of gun murders every single year in America that he previously said was a cost he was willing to bear. Charlie Kirk was a far-right demagogue, also a Christian Zionist. I hate his positions, I hated his work, but I have to say that no one should be killed simply for political speech. Like the conservatives say, I'm sending my thoughts and prayers to his wife and his 2 children. I actually do feel bad. I feel horrible. This is gruesome tragedy that their family is going through. Charlie Kirk's shooter was able to escape into chaos while law enforcement mistook an old man for the shooter and realized that he wasn't the shooter. And so now there's a manhunt underway led by the FBI. The event was attended massively at Utah Valley University, and the suspected shooter was hundreds of feet away, propped up on top of a building, looking down into this dip where Charlie's booth sat at the center. You get 2 types of answers when you ask people how they view Charlie Kirk's legacy. Some say he was an extremist, Christian nationalist, a hateful person who spewed vitriolic statements all the time and got what he deserved. And on the other hand, you have people saying he revitalized, and created his own wave in the youth conservative movement here in the United States, and that's something to be proud of. He was credited for helping Trump win the election amongst young men. And the second I saw the up-close footage of Charlie's attack, I knew that he was probably not going to survive. He might have been dead before they even got him to the hospital. The hit right here in his neck, he passed out immediately. It's pretty horrifying. In other news, right after Charlie Kirk was attacked, there was another school shooting in Denver, Colorado that injured 3 children, one of them in critical condition. Will Republicans, will our government move to give us adequate gun control to protect us from mentally unstable people who are giving guns without the proper checks? This entire string of recent shootings have all been perpetrated by individuals with rough mental health who should have never been given a gun. This is a failure of our government. Will they protect us? I hope so, but I also doubt it.
A man who spent years insisting that a few gun deaths are worth it for freedom is himself gunned down on stage. Some call it justice, others call it tragedy. But the real story is not just about Charlie Kirk's death. It's about America itself, a nation so fractured that one man's assassination feels less like a murder and more like a mirror. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let us get into this thing.
Don't be fooled. This guy didn't shoot Charlie Kirk. I'm going to have this screenshot up just so you guys can actually go and watch this video and understand what's going on in our country today. But don't be fooled. Charlie Kirk, that was a professional hit. Let's break it down. Let's really think about this. On an average person who maybe has a gun, who's maybe went shooting a couple times, you know, if this was just an average Joe that killed Charlie Kirk, do you think they're just letting off one shot? And do you think they get so lucky that they hit right here where the jugular is? Pretty much a kill shot. Let's really think about it. An average Joe, if you were to go and shoot someone in front of a crowd, a high profile person, your adrenaline is running through the roof, you're letting off multiple shots because not an average person is just going to go and start shooting someone that's a high value profile person out the blue. You know, this has to be a professional hit. One shot, one hit. Where's the shooter? No one knows. But we all know how the story goes. They'll say, this guy did it, case closed, and that's that. But don't be fooled.
I was just standing there about maybe 15 feet in front of Charlie, probably it was in the standing area, the standing crowd, maybe 3 people back behind the guardrail, and we were just enjoying listening to him answering questions. And before I continue, I don't think this is being covered. I don't know if any witnesses have come out and said that one of the last things that Charlie declared before the shot rang out was that Christ is Lord and that he defeated death. And I just find that very poetic, despite this tragedy. After that declaration, he moved on to the next question, which during that time was when the shot rang out, and it just seemed like everything went in slow motion. It didn't seem real for that split second, and then and I saw very up close the graphic detail of what happened. And at that point, me and the friend that I was with and the crowd around us ducked down and quickly got on the ground. I just remember instinctively shouting, "No, no, no, no." I reached for my phone to text my wife and to tell her that there there was a shooter, and that I loved her in case anything happened to me. And at that point, we were on the ground for about a minute, and not hearing any more shots ring out gave everyone the confidence to just start running to the buildings. I'm going to be completely honest. When I walked into this courtyard, the first thing that I thought, with everything that's happened in the past decade or few years, the first thing I thought was, I hope they have good security here, because this does not seem like a safe place for Charlie to be giving his message. In terms of the layout of the courtyard, not in terms of the people, which like she was saying earlier, it was a mostly friendly crowd, and so just the layout of the courtyard, that was my initial thought, is that this does not seem very safe.
Justification for the death of innocents cannot be an infinite cycle of bloodlust. It cannot be killing tens of thousands of innocent civilians with a war with no end in sight, people who are not complicit in those atrocities. It cannot be bombing hospitals which children use. It cannot be bombing hospitals in which cancer patients are dying and starving in there. The deaths that have been inflicted, nobody knows the true toll, but somewhere between 50 and 100,000 people lie dead under the rubble.
Can you tell me what African country is currently ongoing a civil war?
Believe it or not, I know about Sudan.
Okay, good.
I'm not an idiot.
What Southeast Asian country has an ethnic cleansing going on right now?
Myanmar.
Good. And you have strong opinions on both sides?
Unlike you, I take an effort to be informed about foreign policy and to come to conclusions. You are a culture warrior. I will be glad that I will not have been somebody who has defended the genocide of the Palestinian people. When everything is done, Mr. Kirk, people will see you and the people you supported as corrupt.
Difference.
You will have to reckon with that.
Difference,
Mr. Kirk.
is when.
This is horrific. This is awful. And the assassination of Charlie Kirk risks an uncorking of political chaos. Are we going to do something, or are we going to argue over rhetoric? That is my question about this. We have to pass gun safety legislation and stop this.
And remember, we're Americans, and you can disagree in a way that doesn't end in a horrible way today did.
And it shouldn't matter what your political views are. You should be able to state in America whatever you feel.
A couple Republicans just came down these steps and said that it's Democrats' fault that this happened. Your response to that?
I think on a day when this young man has lost his life and his family is grieving, to be talking about the politics of this is just so inappropriate.
We should all resist the temptation just to point fingers. That takes us nowhere. We should be rejecting gun violence and political violence in all of their forms, regardless of who the target is.
Well, would you look at that? Would you look at that? I mean, I don't think I can really do this justice, so I'll just let Charlie Kirk say it himself.
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so that we can have the Second Amendment.
Somebody had posted this video the moment that Charlie Kirk was shot on campus, but the shooter's in the video. Now, the person that uploaded this did not realize that they actually captured what looks like the shooter on the roof. So watch closely. You can see everybody here is running because on the right there, that's Charlie's tent. He was just shot. Everybody starts fleeing this way. But if you look real closely right here, we can see what...
The alleged assassination of Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University is the kind of story that fractures the internet in real time. For some, it was a gut punch, not just the death of a man, but the symbolic assassination of a conservative youth politics. Donald Trump called him legendary and lion-hearted. Jerry Vance said he was the future of the movement. Supporters grieved head. Some saw Kirk as a future president. To them, this wasn't just political violence. It was an attack on America itself. But scroll a little deeper online and the tone flips. Some voices, blunt, even gleeful, said, "Good riddance, he was a far-right demagogue, a hateful man who spewed venom and denied basic rights to millions." To them, this wasn't tragedy, it was comic irony. And here's the chilling part. Both reactions came from real Americans living in the same country, watching the same event, but experiencing two entirely different realities. Charlie Kirk's final moments were spent doing what he always did, debating a gun control. He famously said that some gun deaths every single year were unacceptable cost for the Second Amendment. And then some moments later, he became that cost. This is not irony. This is America's curse, a country where even those who worship the gun eventually get eaten by it. Critics immediately seized on this point. If adequate gun control had existed, Charlie Kirk might still be alive. His death is not just a tragedy, it's an indictment, but for conservatives, this narrative cuts deep because it turns the martyr into contradiction. Supporters hailed him as a defender of free speech. But free speech is not just about having the right to speak, it's about surviving the consequences of what you say. Kirk built his career on incendiary rhetoric. He attacked LGBTQ rights, he called immigrants a threat, he claimed some people shouldn't exist. Here is the paradox. You can believe in his right to speak while also acknowledging that words can shape a culture of hostility. Did his speech invite violence against others? And if so, do we ignore the cycle when violence becomes back to him? That's the uncomfortable question America is choking on. How much responsibility do words carry in a country already armed to the teeth? Almost immediately after Kirk's death, Fox News host Jesse Waters went live and declared they are at war with us. This wasn't a eulogy, it was a battle cry, and that's the danger when tragedy becomes ammunition. Because calling it war doesn't honor Kirk, it turns his into fuel for the very violence that killed him. Political rhetoric is America isn't just toxic anymore, it's radioactive, and the more each side escalates, the more inevitable it feels that the next act of violence is already loading its gun. There is a raw truth here. Empathy in America has become conditional. If you love Charlie Kirk, you mourn. If you hated him, you shrug, maybe even celebrate. But guys, I want us to be real with ourselves. That's not morality, that's tribalism. If we only care about the death of people we agree with, then we are not fighting for justice. We are just fighting for our own team's scoreboard. One person put it perfectly, and I'll quote, "Aren't we supposed to be the ones advocating for free speech? You don't defeat ideas with bullets, you defeat them with better ideas." The problem is America has forgotten how to fight with ideas. This assassination didn't happen in a vacuum. It happened in a country that normalizes violence, worships guns, and profits from chaos. It happened in a media ecosystem that thrives on division. And it happened in a society so polarized that the death of a human being isn't mourned universally, but dissected like a sport commentary. Gun control, freedom of speech, political rhetoric, blame games, conspiracy theories, every angle is being spun. Every side is claiming the moral high ground. But the one thing no one seems to be saying out loud is this: if we keep justifying political violence, no one is safe. Not you, not me, not the next Charlie Kirk. So here is where we land. Charlie Kirk's death is not just about him, it's about us, about a nation so divided that even death can't unite us in grief. You can love him or you can loathe him, but if America cannot agree that political violence is unacceptable, then this won't stop with Charlie Kirk. It won't stop with conservatives. It won't stop with liberals. Because political bullets don't care about your ideology. They just keep firing. And the real tragedy is this: America doesn't just have a gun problem. It doesn't just have a rhetoric problem. It has a humanity problem. Are we together? If you conquer with me, hit that subscribe button. Let us become friends. Let us become a family. Let us become a community. I hope to see you in my next video.